is down, but they're looking for the killer blow. That's it, back of the end zone. Dagger! He's looking. Jamil's coming. He's moving. He's moving. He's got him. He's got him. It was caught, but Jed has called the sack. Incomplete. He called the sack. It's 2 points to the Hammerhead. An unbelievable sack there by Jamil. This is the last game of the day. It's caught and it's in. It's a touchdown.
That's it.
It's a touchdown. The last play of the game. The clock is at zeros. That's it. Your Swansea Hammerheads are advancing to the Division 1 final, having knocked off the 2 seed and having knocked off the 1 seed. Alan Young, you look absolutely stunned.
What do you mean by live? Genuine live?
Yes. We're broadcasting.
Hello, radio!
And now, a new episode of The Way We HNC It. Yes, welcome back to another episode of The Way We HNC It. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Well, maybe it's not tonight. This is a podcast. It's tonight as we're recording. Stuart Anderson joins me on the call to give you the latest roundup of things that have been going on in the flag football world. Tree, good evening. How are you?
Good morning, Bez. I mean, it could be any time of the day, right? Yeah, it could be any time. Good happy lunchtime. Hello, Bez. It feels like a hot minute since we have last spoke. I think 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. 2 weeks on the Flag and New Year sideline.
Yeah, we got to see people in human form and have a little chin wag around the league and see what's going on and what's happening. Yeah. It was a very interesting weekend, but it's nice to see your face, Bez.
Yes, it's nice to see
as
your
always
face as well. Yeah, big tournament number 1 tick in the books, out the way, and that is going to make up the vast majority of this show. I think we're going to talk about all the goings on at flagging New Year, and we'll maybe take a quick whip round of the news and the goings on elsewhere before we get to the full review, though. So I'm going to press the button and play Greg's theme tune, even though he is not here. He sends his apologies, and that will actually affect a news item, but you'll have to wait until you hear the epic intro first.
Greg with the news.
Okay, news item number 1. They did it. The British American Football Association released flag football, a new direction. The conclusion of the root and branch review of flag football and a new direction for the sport in Britain commencing with immediate effect. I'm going to get the weekly swear out the way early.
You doing it? Oh, Bez, that's brilliant. That means I don't have to.
I'm going to get the weekly swear out the way early. So if you are with young people or you're listening in a public place, the next 15 seconds or so, maybe turn it down a little bit. Stuart Anderson, to quote you, the last thing you said on the last podcast we did as you spoke for the nation was essentially fucking Baffa.
Yep.
End quote. And then 2 days later, because Baffa have no sense of timing, 2 days after we finished recording the show.
It's almost like they heard me.
It's almost like
they heard the nation.
And they were like, oh, damn it, better hit post on that.
It's been scheduled for a while. Let's get it out there.
I mean, that was like, before we even get to the content, that's like a whole thing as well. Like, it appeared on the website, but I don't think it's been shared yet anywhere.
Because I remember seeing an Instagram story of someone saying the way they HNC revealing Baffa news before Baffa revealing news. Like, that gave me the giggles. I'm like, oh yeah,
I'm just going to have
well done, us.
a very quick scan through. There's nothing on the BAFA flag page or
nothing on the official BAFA either.
No.
Going back, nothing there either. Still, I mean, there's something from
the third post back was Happy New
the
Year, and then there's
21st. But...
So I don't even. It was sent in by an avid fan and friend of the show who said, "Have you guys seen this yet?" I think it had just come across the production desk just a couple of minutes before. So yeah, I just shared it, and then there was a whole bunch of reaction to it and responses, and then eventually someone was like, "Wait, how come you guys are sharing this?" Like, just
yeah,
it's important to pay attention.
It came from a source. That is the internet.
It is important to pay attention.
I mean,
but it is also excellent to we're thankful for everyone that keeps their keeping their ears to the ground and letting us know when things happen if they think we've missed it. So if you do want to become a source, the DMs are always open. Not always the quickest to respond, but they are always open.
But they are open.
And
they are open. Yeah.
I do get back to every single message just about. So they are always open. You can always message the show. And we will
even all those ones that go, do you want to try our new kit? Are you a sports club?
The amount
custom wear.
The amount
so many of those.
The amount of Central Asian samples in my garage is increasing daily from all these kit manufacturers.
You get them all the time. So I bet every flag football club are just when it admins their Facebook pages and stuff like, oh, we get them too, guys. Yeah, we get them as well.
Relatable content.
There we go. We're hitting the nation. Everyone appreciates those. That's how annoying they are.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, in regards to the content, Bez, let's
in regards to the content,
I mean,
so we will do
what are we doing about this?
We will do full disclosure to everyone. From the number of people that have sent me text messages and mentioned it at Flag New Year to any of the three of us, and have been involved in text chains with some of you over the last couple of weeks. Trust me, I know what you want to happen right here.
I'm biting my tongue so hard.
I feel the demand against the screen, and we are going to deliver what you expect from us, having read this document. But it will not be today. We're going to take, Stuart and I are going to take a humorous and cursory glance at it. But Greg and I, we turned over some stones. We did something perilously close to real journalism. And we put our thinking caps on to think about the flag football root and branch review. So we will get to the full rundown, but it deserves Greg to be here.
Yeah, unfortunately, this needs a Greg influence as well. But
unfortunately, he's not here. And
Norway or something.
And let me tell you right now, he has takes. He has opinions and he has views and he has takes, and he will come back very soon and he will share them all with you.
Oh, there's seen so many DMs, like even me, like, hey Tree, what's your thoughts? And no one ever reaches out to me in the DMs, like I'm starting to turn into the resident Tom, but I mean, I had a few and like, did you hear this? I'm like, yes. What do you think of that? I'm like, well, so I think the only thing we could probably we'll save the content for when Greg's here, so we can have a real debacle. I mean, the only thing would probably be worth discussing, if anything at all, that registration for teams is now open for this season. So it looks like this season's not going to be too badly affected.
If at all, to be honest.
If at all. So let's hope everything's good. And we're hopefully obviously going to get the teams registered soon. We'll get a fixture soon. And let's hope that the first game week is not impacted. But it looks like the things are in motion for us to at least get flag football this season. That's what I'm going to take from that at the moment.
Yes. And it is also worth noting that the game day weekends are set.
they've been in the calendar for a while, haven't they?
They have been subject to change. My understanding is that they are set in stone. What day, Saturday, Sunday, up for grabs until we know which teams we're doing which. And I guess I'm thinking the ones earlier in the season will probably be given leeway on either day to just try and get pitches booked.
So and all that percentage bets for people to content. How, on a level of 0 confidence to 100% confident, how confident are you of the season starting on the week 1 plan day?
So week 1 is 23rd, 24th of March.
Yep.
I will make
just a number.
I'll make you a flag football community Bez guarantee.
Oh, I like this.
That weekend, there will be football. It might be their like pre-season weekend down south, or it might be like
I see your scapegoat.
It might
here.
be like
okay.
Southwest, like might be like Southwest Conference.
I like how you scuttled your way away from the question. I should have made it more specific, Ben. I need to up my journalism here. I should have said, how confident are you that week 1 of the BAFA season for Division 1 and Premiership may take place on that day?
So I think it will. I think there will be BAFA League football.
Okay.
That weekend. I think it might be like Premiership preseason and the bigger Division 1s week 1.
Wow, you sound like very 100% there, Bez. I love your confidence. It's not rubbing off on me because I'm round at about 10% for I don't think it's going to happen.
The only thing that I think could throw the spanner in the work is they might take game day 1 because there's 7 weeks. There's 7 weeks on the schedule. The thing is, Div 1 needs 7. Generally speaking, 3 of the 5 Div 1s need 7.
Okay.
So they have to go then, or they have to find another week. Them's
fine.
I think the thing they will have going for them potentially is that they could move the regional playoffs later and use the regional playoff weekend as a spare.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for them. It's going to be difficult. I think there's a lot of challenges in there. I think the only challenging thing, Bez, is league alignment down south. Not for Scotland. We are cool. BAFA could turn around to us and go, "Hey guys, fancied running your own league this year?" Like, yeah, sure, we can organize it. Just leave it to us. But down south, they just will whine and they will complain. And they will go, I've got to travel 45 minutes to my nearest game day. And then and they won't be happy, Bez. So we know that down south are going to cause hassle. The way the HNC is the best league in the world for that reason. We just
do
get
need
on
to,
with it.
We maybe need to get Jed back on the show and find out how far people would be willing to travel in order to referee a game.
Honestly, then he get me started.
10 to 20 minutes.
They do not. They've never, over the years I've played flag, it's nearly close to 9-10 years now, Bez. They do not want to travel. I don't get it.
I'm really excited for this year.
So if they can sort the league alignment out, we'll be fine.
Thanks to the promotion of the Murray Distillers.
Oh yeah.
There's likely to be a game day within an hour of my house.
Yes.
for the first time since I left Aberdeen.
I love it.
Which is absolutely delightful.
Well, just think even my nearest game day is going to be, Dunfermline, well, we'll see. I don't think so. My closest game day will be either probably the Gunslingers or the Chargers. And that's still like 35, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Where it used to be 10.
So, yeah, you walk there. So
it was bliss. I could literally see the field. If I was to drive, it would take me like 5 minutes. If I walk it, it's 10.
When I lived in Cults, I tried to book the Cults Academy fields for that very reason. But it turned out that when I spoke to them, their Astro pitch was like hockey carpet rather than 3G, so we can't use it.
Yeah.
So it got
it's booked, like that Peppermill, isn't it?
It got booked for Div 1 because it was grass. But yeah, that's when we ended up in the piss and rain up at Lochside.
Oh, fun times.
Classic.
So yes, I'm looking forward to talking about the content of this review, Bez. I am thoroughly I have had a deep conversation with a couple people about it, and we've got our tinfoil hats on for some of this stuff. But I mean,
conspiracy of the week is coming back. Don't you worry.
I cannot wait. I'm gonna make a tinfoil hat for that episode, and I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to clip it and ship it when we do that episode of me with a tinfoil hat on, and I'm going to get a bullet points of all the things I've heard about this review from other people. They'll remain anonymous, and I'll put my tinfoil hat on and say,
That'd be
this
so good. Things that have been said.
Yeah.
As conspiracy theories. Tree,
Yep.
that might be a one hell of a segment. That could potentially rival Don't Get Me Started.
And I'll put my tinfoil hat on, Bez. I'll have a wee point on the top and everything. I'll go full out.
Do you want to play Don't Get Me Started? I know Greg's not here, but we can play that later.
Greg's not here. I mean, we either save it for the end again to end the show
I think that's how
to
we'll
build
end
up the anticipation for it, since it was so good the first time, and or we go early. I mean, is there any other news? I mean, Big Bowl.
Yeah, Big Bowl
was just announced, and I think registration was open for all of like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it didn't take much. So
how quick was it? Yeah.
It was under 2 minutes again.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, because the only time when getting the job done in 2 minutes isn't considered a bad thing. So yeah, ladies division, 15 teams, and the Big Bowl, 48 in the mixed. Spectacular.
It's incredible. I mean, it still proves the point that it's one of the most popular flag football tournaments, like in Europe. Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, it's well known. And I mean, it's a bit disappointing in a sense that there's no Scottish teams going this year. But it's fine. A lot of us have been over the years, I suppose, and they want something a bit different. But the lineup again is just like, there's so many good teams in there across the board. And a lot of teams that we recognize. There's so many teams in there that we know, but I think the British ones are Reading Devils. I'd guess Wool are in there somewhere with a team.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's Flag Watch.
Could be like the Night's Watch, Flag Watch. Could be sort of
something like that. Silver Lions, the Smoke, the Newcastle Blackhawks are in.
Oh, I saw that post there.
The HNC, to be fair.
They're us. They're us.
Yeah, and the Devils.
There are a few of them made it, and a few other friends of the show and stuff on there across other teams. So
yeah, for sure. The women's division will be the UK will be represented by Coventry. I mean, the women's division is so stacked.
Oh, like Red Lips, Team Israel,
Wanderers, Cougars, Griffins from Canada, Olympians Los Labos from Mexico, Team Israel, the Red Lips. The Mariannes from France. Like, it's just,
it'll be good.
Oh, it's so good.
The
Red Lips, they're in there as well. Oh, it's so good. And it's good to see that the Riverside Gamblers are back. Riverside Gamblers, back. Japanese team that were there last year. They're back in the men's. Yeah, I think there's a Mexican team in as well. I saw Legans, and the Quetzals. God, my Spanish. I'm sorry for butchering that for any native speakers.
Wow, that was certainly a go of it, that's for sure.
Quetzals, they're in, obviously, stack of German teams.
I mean, there's also the one that always makes me giggle is literally a country that has no oceans near them, but their name is called Flag Dolphins from Switzerland.
Oh yeah, the landlocked country there, the Dolphins. Yeah, solid.
Tell me where the nearest dolphin is.
Solid. Well, that's just Shamu, isn't it? In a tank.
Caught in circles, all right. Even like Ragnarok's up there. They were Pink Bowl, I believe. They're very good.
Yeah, so yeah, really, really good for Big Bowl. Just another like fully stacked lineup.
Be another good tournament. I think it's this year's the 1st and 2nd of June. I think it is this year.
Yeah.
So that'll be another good one to keep an eye on it as the sort of groups get revealed and all sorts of stuff.
The draw is always a good watch, and see how many Kinder eggs have been eaten.
Oh yeah, well, there's a few this year, that's for sure, with all those teams.
Yeah, so that's
I
always.
think what other news there was. Well, this is where we missed Greg.
This is where we
Greg
missed
is the
Greg's homework.
news man. We only got
So if we stay with tournaments, the Southwest Series, for those that aren't familiar with it, the Southwest Series is preseason flag, similar to Winter League, down in the Southwest. And they do it's like a mini tournament, 2 groups, team kind of Southwest teams, and you basically, if you win, you get X number of points. You know, if you win tournament 1, you get X number of points, all the way down to if you come last of the tournament, you get 1. And then it just rolls, redraw every tournament, groups, So yeah, that's going on down south, and there's the usual kind of suspects are involved. The Sharks are involved, the Falcons, the Coyotes, 2 Kings teams, the Western Supers, the Hammerheads, the Turn Up the Tunes, the Marauders, the Red Storm, and the Plymouth Bolts.
Oh,
not one I'm familiar with.
No, not familiar with that one. No, that's
maybe
new.
we get a new squad. So yeah, that's the Southwest Series. They're on Instagram. You can go follow them, see what's going on in the Southwest. And yeah, kind of keep an eye on maybe that will inform our preseason BAFA predictions. How does preseason impact the real season?
I think it will. I think it's great that they've got the Southwest Series down there and they got something going like Winter League. It still gives them a form of football during the off season to kind of prepare, especially for the newer teams like Plymouth Bolts, for example. And over the years, we've seen other teams. I think it was what was the Gators one? Swansea. Was the Gators? Can't remember.
Gators?
It was all the new teams, but they all kind of end up in the league together, and that was great for them, kind of getting their foot in the door, playing the more regular teams, getting some football in before the start of the year. So, yeah, I'm just surprised they haven't. The one thing I've not seen, Bez, I'm surprised there's nothing like London, like a London series over the winter, because you got so many.
Well, there's so many like rec leagues and stuff that.
Yeah, exactly. Like
that you never hear about unless you live there. Like
correct. I know nothing of anything in there at all. No. There must be rec leagues.
Oh, there's a lot of rec leagues that are going on in London. I'm just not. I live far too far away to be aware of them.
Well, I have to stay far too far away from Glasgow to tell you what's going on there.
So yeah, I don't think we covered Winter League last time. So we will.
Well, it's about to come on to playoffs, isn't it?
Cover it now quickly, because I think the last thing we did, was going into the final weekend. And then I don't think we covered the result of it. So Top Gun, Glasgow, Grangemouth, and Aberdeen are going to be fighting out for the championship group, while the Chargers, Raptors, Border City, Newcastle, and the Cobras are in the plate group. So that'll be exciting. That is coming up. Sorry. That is coming up. When is the March?
It's Orium in March.
It's like weirdly far away. Yeah, I can't remember.
It is, yeah. I can't remember the exact date, unfortunately, but I remember it's Orium in March somewhere. And I think they play each other once, as far as I'm aware. So the Colts will play Glasgow. Well, I only know the Colts because they've been talking about it, but I think they play each other kind of once in like a sort of round robin.
It's a group. It's a round
like
robin,
a groupy sort of thing. Yeah.
And while that's ongoing, there's also the under 16s are there as well for their like championship and plate.
That's right. Yeah.
So we're not going to know what's going to happen there just yet, obviously, because they've still got another round of games to go, which are this weekend, Saturday, the 3rd of February, the under 16s and are they under 12 or are they under 13? Under 12.
I think it's under 12 because they play 3-on-3.
12 and under, yeah, they play really small. So Burnley Tornadoes, Glasgow Tigers, Kings Youth, Hamilton Bucks, and Paisley Bears will be playing very small people flag football on very small people flag football pitches at Ravenscraig this Saturday. So that should be an absolute riot. Looking forward to hearing all about that.
I should be there, Bez.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, I might be there. I'm not too sure. I need to wait and see. There's a few things happening this week to whether I can actually go or not, but
Yeah.
I'm down to be refereeing, hopefully. I hope to be there,
Nice.
but
Yeah.
I can't commit just yet.
Fully psyched to hear about how that goes. With the wee ones, the very wee ones, and then the wee ones who are under 16. And given that I am a small person, probably a bunch of them are taller than I am at under 16s level.
Oh, there is. There's a couple big boys, like.
Yeah, so that's the Bombers, the Tigers, Glasgow Flag Football Youth, Kings Youth, Grangemouth Colts, and Inverclyde Phoenix. And that's the standings. And basically, they have gone 5-4-3-2-1-0 in wins in that order. So Lancashire Bombers unbeaten. Tigers lost to the Bombers. Glasgow lost to the Tigers and the Bombers. Kings lost to Glasgow and the Bombers. And Grangemouth and Inverclyde below that. So the knockout phase, I think it's the top 3 go for like a little championship plate, and the bottom 3 go to a little round robin plate group. So they're still guaranteed extra games at the final in March. So we'll just see how things go this weekend, and we'll be able to have Junior Winter League updates.
Yep, I'm excited for that. I like that format too for the kids' beds, because it means that as a year goes on, a lot of kids develop, like they learn and they get better as the year goes on. So to leave it to like you play the first, second, and third teams all play each other, it might be a different result than it was at the start of the year because players develop. So I really like that format. I'll be really interested to see how the scores differ from the start when they play each other the first time and through training and where they end up.
It's good. Like if you've got kids that are brand new to it back in November, they'll be different kids now, different players now. They'll have learned a lot by going along to their weekly sessions to March. So, to February and March. So hopefully, the coaches will have been having a good time with them over the kind of winter period. And Junior Winter League is a really great addition to the calendar. So
I'm excited to see how that grows in the future. Hopefully it's something that can continue to grow. Because that's ultimately the future of our sport base. Like that's all.
And like the fact that like Burnley and Lancashire are considering it worth. Now, obviously, it would be great if there was like youth leagues closer to them. Obviously,
that'd be ideal.
So they don't have to travel all the way up. But as it stands, that's it at the moment, and it's great that they feel like it's worth it. So.
Yeah, because not every week, You're not having to travel every week. You're going to a venue to only play 2 games. Like you're coming up maybe once every other month to maybe play 3 or 4 games. I don't know the exact format, but it's definitely much more worthwhile doing that than just going to 2 hours for just 1 game or whatever.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Even my wee Colts team are up there, Bez. Oh. I've only played 1 game day, but I'm hoping to try and be at the last one so I can watch Fraser Thompson's QB elite level throwing. Dude looks like he's had a bit of fun this year.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
This is my first complete winter off in a long time.
Same. I said that. I've been enjoying it.
I feel good. My body felt good. I was rusty at Winter League. Flagging the year.
Same.
Flagging year to start. But by kind of on day 2, I was feeling pretty good about myself. So
I was the same. I think I was the same as you, Bess. I was playing center. I wasn't really quarterback at the flag in the year, but the Saturday I was just really rusty. And like I've not run routes in a while or caught anything. So by the time we got to the Sunday, I was like, I could still do this. And I think I've not really missed Winter League this year at all. Like I know obviously years by going by, we've organized it, we've done podcasts and reviews and shows and all that kind of stuff. But this year's been the first year I wanted to take some time to myself away from flag and then kind of restart almost to kind of get the love back for it. Sadly, the weather's been absolutely trash, so I've not been at too much Grangemouth training recently.
Oh,
but
man.
Yeah, the weather's been horrible. I think they're trying to get the Orion booked because the grass that they play on a Saturday, honestly, Bez, it's just
horrendous.
The venues are all fully booked with the Astros, and then the grass is a wee bit like rough and ready. So hopefully get some sessions in soon. I'm kind of excited to get back throwing the ball again.
Good.
Get off that rust, Bez. We need to get the wee rust off our wee legs and our wee arms. We're getting a bit rusty in our old age.
Iron Man coming soon as well, so that'll be a solid run out.
I might be there at that one.
But
I
it
don't
better
know
be
yet.
a solid run it because there's no one else to run for you because it's Iron Man. So
That's true.
so you better be ready for it. The draw for little insider knowledge here. The draw
Oh,
is imminent for Flag and Iron Man. We'll share everything with you when it happens, as it happens, and as the build up goes. But it is imminent. So get ready for that and see who you're going to be chasing around all damn day.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't even know if I'm playing yet. Hopefully I'll get a team. But if not, I'll.
There you go. If you want Mr. Anderson on your team,
I know there's a Colts team in, but I don't know whether I don't know whether it'll be like if Sam wants to take it and he goes play, or myself, or like I could obviously there'll be a Broncos team, but will Fraser be in the Broncos team? I've got no idea. So I think there's like 24 people interested at the time, which I remember to play. And obviously there's only like what 14 spots, and there's like 24 people interested. And I was like, can if somebody else wants to do this, Bez? I'm like, knock yourselves out.
Absolutely, yeah. It's
I'd like to play because it's game day, and I want to be at quarterback for a game day or games to get back up to speed again.
Yeah.
So I would like some game time, but yeah, at the same time, just like
there you go.
Yeah.
Are you listening out there thinking about Iron Man and you need a quarterback?
I'm available. I'm not committed to a team. I've not been guaranteed a squad. So.
DMs are open for Mr. Anderson.
As this goes out, and Fraser Thompson instantly messages me as "You're going nowhere.
You are going absolutely nowhere."
But maybe this is the weight. Maybe this is like the weight that I need for them to make decisions. Yeah, that's it.
Public shaming.
Fraser. I love you, man, but yeah,
great way to kind of settle yourself into your new team there, Tree. Piling on public pressure.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with it, right? If they can handle it, then they're good enough for me. You know?
Exactly.
They crumble, then well.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to think of what other news we've got other than you've alienated yourself from a club.
That's all right. I don't mind.
What else have we been chatting about? Trying sharing stuff on the gram.
Cheltenham Sevens. I guess there's been Flagapalooza. There's been bits coming out about that.
So we've been doing the teams. So the mixed bracket, I believe, is pretty much almost full. So if you are considering it, now is the time. The current team list for the mixed is getting pretty sweet, actually. We've got the Reading Devils, the Cheltenham Neptunes, Langton Green Flag Football, who I've thought about every now and then. For the last couple of years, I've come across their social media, and it's like solid, but they don't post much. But when they do post, it's beautifully designed, so you can look them up. The Bucks Wolves, Buckinghamshire Wolves, Rexy's Midnight Runners, the Waveney Wolves, two wolf teams, the Pit Vipers, who look extremely like our favorite orange and grey team from London. The Cardiff Bay Coyotes,
heard of them,
are up and about. The Jokers are up and about. The Belfast Trojans are in the women's bracket, which is good to see them. Baywatch Flag Football, another tournament team. They are in when they will have very distinctive accents.
Oh well, I bet they're very good looking as well and very handsome. Whoever they are,
very handsome and very very Geordie. So they will be in. The Huskies that we spoke about before, they are in for the women's bracket. The Cheltenham Wayfinders are our women's team that are in as a tournament team. The Atasuki Clouds, the Padley brothers are putting together a tournament team. So they're in too. Kalikaku. They are in. They're coming over for a good time. I mean, it's a party. We're not going to miss them.
Gotta be minging.
Right. It's a party with some tents and flag football. Kalikaku are basically wrote the product description. And the boys who we saw at Flag and New Year, a lot of kind of Amsterdam Panthers guys in there. So they are coming over as well. So that's where we're at. The kind of current update that I have for you is that the mixed bracket is 85% full.
So you can do the maths, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, what's the prize for the winner? I
That
saw
means
a
there's 3
poster.
spots left. That means there's
There you
3
go.
teams
There
left.
you go. There you go. I knew you'd work it out. But the prize is pretty good, isn't it? Is it not like 200 quid actual cash money?
It's cash money.
And is it not an entry to something as well?
So yeah, it's an entry to the was it the World Flag Football Championship event in Tampa?
I think that's the one. That's it. Yep, that's it.
The one that the UK Dukes went to a little while ago. The girls won. I can't remember what format they won. They won one of the formats they entered in because obviously there's like a million formats. So, but yeah. So you'll get.
I'm sure.
To be very clear, my understanding is that you have to get yourself to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they're not going to pay for it, obviously.
But when you get there, let's not. When you get there, you will have an entry for you. So, yeah, really cool, and obviously entry to the festival and all that kind of stuff on the Flag
music
page. So,
great. That's a really great idea. I've said this before. What a genius idea!
Yeah, really smart, really good. Seems to be picking up a lot of attention. So we'll not give away too much, but yeah, could be a lot of fun. Could be.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. Like if you look at the posters and the advertisement, and if you look at content from the years gone by, it looks electric. Like probably one of the. It could turn into one of the best sporting festivals in the UK for our community. It's very much our kind of like maybe not the music's my type of scene, but what's going on, the sports that are included. We'll talk about it when we get.
I'm interested to see how many flag football teams also enter things like dodgeball. That'll be the.
I know, right?
That'll be the interesting.
Scott McDonald comes up with his latex on and enters the CrossFit Championships as well.
God,
I mean that would make my day.
Yeah. So moving on from that horrendous image, Flag and New Year happened.
Yay!
Flag and New Year happened. Competitive flag football returned to the top level of the UK in 2024, and it was awesome.
Easily, yeah, one of the best flag and New Year tournaments. I think one of the best. I would say as well. It's definitely up there.
Like the only thing I could ever really think of to like compare it to was like the epic. It was like Waldorf versus the Solarod Gold Diggers.
Yeah, they were up there, and that was
that was in like Tory Glen, like so long ago. Like there's people that have been to multiple Flag and New Years now that are like, hasn't it always been here? Like I said that to someone at the tournament. They were like, wait, has it not always been here? I'm like, no.
Yep, it's been at different venues in the past.
Yeah, you should have been to the one that was outside.
Let's reminisce about that one.
Yeah, please do. We won that one.
Oh, did you? There you go. Oh, yes, you did. I remember. I was watching it. Yeah.
So yeah, So Saturday. Let's talk Saturday. Tree, you were a Murray distiller for the day. I was an Aberdeen Wildcat.
I think we were pretty covered for both the games. I think I was obviously in group D, which meant I got to referee A,
and I was
and
B.
then
you were in B.
Sorry, you were
refereeing your group.
You were refereeing your group. So we had a lot. We got to see a lot of football. I mean, on behalf of Group D, I would just like to say I did not enjoy myself on Saturday. It was great. Like, don't get me wrong. From a perspective of me playing, and I was trying to explain this to the guys, you're playing against 3 BAFA Premiership level playoff teams. They're very good. They're very competent. They know what they're doing.
And that pretty handy mob from France.
And then you add in the handy mob from France, and it's an eye opener. They were very clinical. They were precise, athletic, good looking. I mean, I've seen them before. It's not my first time seeing Kalakaku play, so I knew what to expect. But I actually thought they were better than maybe what I'd seen them before. I don't know why. They just looked very good. Maybe that's because they were playing me. But I mean, they looked very clever, really clever in what they were doing. So I
They
didn't get
looked
to see.
so smooth. Like they
They were.
so clean on Saturday. Like
You can tell they're European football though. How far was the quarterback back in the pocket? 10, 15 yards, deep throws. The plays were elongated to more 10 to 20 yards passing down the field. It was a very European style of play and very physical. And I think I didn't get to hear. I heard the commotion, but between the Hornets and Kalakaku, apparently got a bit heated at times.
oh, what a game though!
It was partly quite a good game, but again,
it was brilliant.
I was playing at the same time, so I've got no idea.
I heard it, but it was very good. It was very good style to play, like on both sides.
So we had a tough Saturday. We went obviously 1-4. We beat the Border City Centurions. We almost beat the Reading Devils. It was a 1-score game, and guess who blocked a blitzer on the last play of the game to potentially win the game or at least tie it? Yep, yours truly. Made an arse of that one.
As someone who obviously plays quarterback, but does blitz relatively often.
Mm-hmm. You think I'd know better?
Unforgivable.
Yeah, it is. I couldn't forgive myself. I literally walked away thinking, I've cost us that. That was on me, that. And I can't believe I made an arse of it. Anyways, so we ended up in the bottom bracket, which was probably good because Sunday was excellent. We'll talk about Sunday in a minute, but Saturday for us was it was just difficult. You're coming up against some really incredible teams there. So it was quite challenging. But what about you, Bez? How was your Saturday in your group? You had a lovely group.
Weirdest flag football weekend ever.
You said, I remember you talking about it.
I don't think we were terrible. Like I don't think we were bad. Right.
Greg was playing well on Saturday. When he was there, he was
Greg played well,
man.
and
he did.
Greg also got his revenge game in. So we had in our group, we had Salford, the Dutch Mambas, who were almost an entire Mercs team, given that some of their players couldn't travel in the end. So well played to the guys that got on the pit field together and managed to play. Form a ragtag bunch to get through it. Awesome. Silver Lions, Manchester Crows, and Craigavon Cowboys.
And the mighty Cowboys.
So we had them, we had that group. So I think it made you laugh earlier on, right? So I'll just do the points difference thing, and I will include will include the playoffs, right? The way
Get your pen and paper, boys, ready, boys and girls.
So we finished the weekend, I think it was on a plus 26 points difference, but we were 3-5, having gone win by 14, win by 20, lost by 1, lost by 1, lost by 5, lost by 1, win by 2, lost by 1. That was our weekend.
That's ridiculous.
Heartbreak. The heartbreak.
That is
the heartbreak.
All one scores.
Everything was other than the two.
All one score. Even like
the two wins to start the Saturday, we were comfortable in, and everything else was a 1-score game. Like
that's what we said though going into it. It's like so close and competitive.
Like the Silver Lions game was so much fun. Like it was.
You said you were looking forward to that.
It was so much fun. We said we were looking forward to it. Shout out to Coach Kirby, who did not know that Greg and I were sharing a room in the Premier Inn, but sent us both good morning messages at 7:30 a.m. just to begin the mind games. So
nice. I like his work.
I had a good laugh with Dale about that. But yeah, the Gregson revenge game, in the Silver Lions, they were 13-6 up, and we had the ball last, and we scored to make it 13-12 to them. Wow. So we went for 2 to try and win it, because if you have a shot at it, why not take it? And it was defended, so it was 13-12. But I had a really good game. I thought it was really good fun. It was nice to see everyone on the team. You know, we had kind of Silvercats playing up. We had I don't know if the
I don't think the women's team's name is public yet, but we had some of the women's team playing for the first time. Well, not for the first time, but playing up at Flag and Year. In the mixed team, kind of competitively with the club rather than just All Cats and Silver Cats and the ladies team. So that was really cool. Yeah, we gave it a crack, and that was really good fun. And then the Crows game, 1 point game. Cowboys 1 score game. Cowboys obviously the surprise of Group C,
100%
coming out on top as the winners.
They were good. They were really cocky, which I kind of didn't like. But they were very competitive.
They were having the best time. Like they were living their absolute best lives all day on Saturday, and they just came down with everything. Like it felt like if there was a 50-50 ball in the air,
they were getting it.
They got it. Like it felt like the 50-50 balls were 60-40.
Did you see their wind was knocked out of them though on the Sunday? I mean, that luck kind of ran out a little bit.
Yeah, they hit the Hornets, on a Saturday morning when the Hornets were in it's time to win something mentality. But even then, like it was 19-7, but I don't think it was ever.
It wasn't.
It didn't feel
wide. No.
Yeah.
It was a close game up until about, I'd say halfway through the second half, and there was a couple instances. I believe there was a pick and there was a turnover and downs from a bat down. I remember watching it. It was a quick turnover, and that's where the score went up, I believe.
So Ollie Dyer picked off the first play of the game. It was a slant, and he just stepped it. And then Glasgow were up from there, and they were never behind after that. But I think it was maybe a little bit closer than it could have been for them. But yeah, to take down, to win that group was very impressive from them. It's not a team I'd ever played before. So
they weren't as good as that.
No, not at all. So yeah, a good one. And it was a 1 point win over the Silver Lions as well. So hectic.
Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. So I don't know if they had any ringers in, but like definitely to see the difference between the South Dublin Panthers and the Cowboys, it was really interesting to see. Like Craigavon, I felt they looked like the better team than Dublin when I watched them play. It's really weird.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have said that beforehand. Like we've
going into the weekend.
I've now played the Panthers. I've been to the last 2 Flagging years. I've now played them 3 times. And we had our final game against them, and there was a lot of nonsense at the end of it when the game was kind of over, but then it wasn't over, and then it was like we were ready to be like, okay, we're done, and then the referees were like, oh well, maybe it's a penalty, and there was shouting and complaining and nonsensing. So yeah, but it was over in the end. But yeah, their quarterback, he hurt himself in the second game, I think, or their first game of the day. I had a very brief kind of conversation with him, and he just said his knee wasn't great. So hopefully he's on the mend. And there was a couple of injuries. The yellow jacketed first aiders were pretty busy throughout the day. So hopefully everyone that picked up a knock is on the road to recovery, if not already feeling better. Right. So we've gone Group D, we've gone Group C, so we're probably going to do Group B. Group B, wild group. Aerosol, Manchester Titans, First and 15 Mercs, the Boys, the Newcastle Blackhawks, and the Glasgow Killer Bees.
I think we got this group right.
I think we did.
I think this was probably the one that we got.
I think we maybe had the Boys and the Mercs the other way around because we didn't know either team.
Yeah,
we weren't sure about either team, so I think we were pretty close.
I think we're pretty good with this one. I think the other 2 groups were, they were also very close, but this is probably the one of all of them we were it kind of went the way we thought it would, and it was good to see Aerosol on the first time on a Saturday. Rock up in their spectacular outfits.
Their new uniforms. Yes, very tasty, very tasty. And they played some nice ball as well.
They did. They looked really, really good. Particularly on the Saturday, every time you kind of watch them, because that was the group that I could watch because after we'd refereed, watch the next set of games, so we could actually sit there and watch.
That was kind of our warm-up games, so we were keeping an eye on them. But they were playing really well.
They were really impressive. But Manchester Titans were very clinical as usual. They were like never really looked any doubt. They were looking really good.
I
The
just don't think I
Mercs were
saw a
interesting.
single Titans game over the weekend.
Yeah,
Weirdly, I don't think I think they must like because of where we were all of our Saturday games were on pitch one. So when we were warming up, it was up and down the side of pitch one. So we only saw the teams that were on it, and I don't think the Titans ever were.
All right. Yeah, the Titans in all their games they were relatively comfortable. The only one where they came up with a bit of a shock result was actually Aerosol when they got beat 26-6, which actually surprised me that it was so much. It's all the other games were great, and even Aerosol's results they only beat the Mercs by a point in the first game on a Saturday, but I mean
when I saw that one, and it was like it was. I think it was
that could be format. That could be early morning.
Teams are cold as well. Like
kind of getting into it.
What you're getting,
yeah. There's so many factors, but they eventually warmed up, and I think that's what happened as the day went on. But the first of 50 Mercs, they were good. They looked really good over the weekend. I actually like watching a couple other games. The boys done all right, but Manchester. I always like watching Manchester.
Given the amount of hassle I was getting from my own team about Podcast Bowl when we got drawn the first and 15 Mercs. Especially because I had the new HNC flags.
Oh, yeah, you did. I saw them. Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Someone didn't give me my medal either. My HNC medal for the Quake.
I gave you a medal from the Quake. No, I have your medal. It's here.
You have it. Yeah,
it's here. Yes, I have it here. Yeah, it's here. But yeah, so yeah, I'm glad we won that one because my own team were rinsing me more than anyone else for you better play well in Podcast Bowl. I'll try, but.
Is that the first game on? No, it wasn't.
That was our second game. We lost to Reading and then we played.
Okay. It wasn't quite a podcast. It was like it could have been the friends of the show versus
Mercs, friends of the show versus the Mercs.
That'd have been very close. Yeah,
but it was the first time I've ever played a Mercs team.
Yeah, I've never played them.
It was close enough, but yeah. So group, where were we? Sorry, group
B. Yeah. So the boys were 4th, Newcastle 5th. And the Glasgow Killer Bees in 6th.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then Group A. I think we got Group A bang on actually as well, to be honest. Bold City College, Grangemouth Broncos, top 2. Panthers and Sharks, second 2. And then Edinburgh and Utrecht.
I think we got this one spot on. Although, the only kind of surprise is Chichester. They had a very strong squad. Like, very strong. It was very good to watch them play. I got a chance to talk to the young QB's dad who was on the sideline when I was refereeing. So it was good to kind of talk to him. But the young lads again were absolutely balling in that. But I think the only thing I wondered from this is like Bowl City College, knowing the Saturday, I really wasn't that impressed by them. Like even a little bit. I was like, all right, cool. Like,
their first game. Who did they play first? They played Utrecht first.
Utrecht in the first game, but Utrecht didn't know that doesn't really have anybody. There's just a mixed bunch of people.
Yeah.
The Grange when they beat Grangemouth, it was like, oh, okay, that's not too bad a result. And then the Outlaws weren't really playing that well because I think there was no quarterback really. I think it was Hogg that was quarterback.
Yeah, Hoggy was playing.
Yeah, so not really an out-and-out quarterback. And then the game against Chichester, again, bit of a comfortable one. And they just beat the Dublin Panthers by a score. And even throughout that, obviously we were refereeing our games a couple of times, and I was just like, I didn't think, compared to what happened on the Sunday, I could have just been the same thing as Aerosol. Getting used to the format, new way of playing, quicker clock, waking up on a Saturday. They didn't look like any of the sort of special teams, this sort of mayhem and stuff we've seen over the years. They didn't do anything too super special. And then obviously the Sunday happened, and then I was like, oh, there they are. That's the moves we're looking for. I think as the talent level they got up against grew, they obviously kicked it into a whole other level. They were comfortable. Right, we're in a game here. Let's go play. We'll get to that, but I don't think anything really shocked me in there. Been any shocks? And I don't think any shocks in that group, is there?
I don't think so.
Right,
they Bold. I don't know how they ended up doing it because they were Group A, but the Bold City College quarterback ended up refereeing some of our games. He was like blitzlining for a couple of months. Yeah,
okay.
And he was like, "Oh, I was having so much fun, like so much fun with him." he was a real nice dude, and I spoke to a couple.
He seemed like a nice guy, wasn't he?
I spoke to a
I've had
couple
a
of them
few
afterwards,
conversations.
and yeah, they're one of the guys, Jason Masters. He was one of their teams. I've kind of messaged him back and forward on the podcast a little bit, and yeah, they had a great time, and it's great that they heard about the tournament and they felt like they could come over and they felt like it was worth it, and like hopefully we'll see them again. It's not every tournament you can go to and go home with a massive sword. So
Yeah, that's a story to tell the grandkids.
So
I think that's good for the sport for us too in Scotland. Say we went all the way to Scotland to play American flag football, or basically not quite the national sport of America, but I mean a very popular sport in America. And the amount of people they can then speak to, and other leagues and rec leagues and other teams, and that might then show interest to come across to other things. It's just that one good experience could then lead to future relationships. So, it was good. They seemed like a good bunch. I don't know. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to play them, unfortunately, but
yeah, they were really nice guys. I spoke to a couple of them, kind of between games and stuff. And yeah, they had like quite a feisty, the classic like, American football like trash talk demeanor, but
they did,
like on the park. But that's fine. Like that's part of it. That's fine. No, if we judged people by the things they said between the lines, then we would probably all hate each other. So like, but yeah, between games and stuff, they were great. They were super nice, and it was really fun to kind of have a chat to them. And yeah, I heard a story of someone told me they were like, we're not really used to driving here yet. So like, how far away is Starbucks? And it was like, well, it's only like 3 roundabouts away. So if you can do that, then you're okay. And it was like, if you can go around 3 roundabouts the wrong way for you, you'll be fine.
You'll be good. You'll be safe. Yeah,
So,
you'll be all right.
I don't know if they got their Starbucks. I hope they did. But yeah, it was funny. So I'm glad they were over and making some friends. So what should we do? Lowland.
Start at the bottom, work our way up.
Lowland bracket.
I can talk about the Lowland one, at least from a distiller's perspective.
Yes. So we had Dutch Mambas, the Murray Distillers, the Utrecht Dominators, the Newcastle Blackhawks, Edinburgh Outlaws, Glasgow Killer Bees, Salford Scorpions, and the Border City Centurions were all in there. Obviously, Border City decided to go home due to the upcoming weather alerts and warning that hit kind of the border region pretty hard. So they were forfeits the whole way through. But yeah, everyone else was still there. So yeah, Dutch Mambas game, Tree.
Yeah, a very close game actually. We were quite fortunate to get out the first game. Just I think we were a bit slow in starting in the first one of the day. I had to bail them out a couple of times, super tree. But it was good. I mean, the Sunday for me was good because you were playing against equal competition. All the teams that were there that we came across were of equal ability. So the games were close, they were competitive from an offensive and defensive perspective. So the Sunday was way more fun from a personal point of view. And I think that the games that we played, we had a good game against the Newcastle Blackhawks. Again, 2012, we won that one. And then we came on to the Killer Bees, which again was 2018. But as the weekend went on, the Distillers got better. The offense flowed a bit better. The ball was, in the receiver. The receivers were starting to make more plays. They got better. And I think that's just through rustiness and just playing more football. As the weekend went on, and by the time we got to the Killer Bees game, we had a few more picks because you're getting in the lanes a little bit more. You're reading it a bit better, and the ball's flowing. So I think the game is also
like, it's one of those things where if you're in a, like, I must be one of the few people that have like I've been last at Flag and New Year, and I have won Flag and New Year. Like
I've been both ends of the spectrum.
I've been on both ends of the spectrum on that. And sometimes, like when you're in a tournament like that, and you know that you're not competitive in your group, you just kind of have to wait for Sunday.
Yeah,
because at least you'll get teams that are at a similar level, so you can have a game that's not a 30-point blowout.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I've been in like championship bracket a few times. I think maybe 3 of them, where we've been either first or second in the group over the years. And yeah, you kind of you kind of know going into the weekend where you're going to be and the other teams that are maybe ahead. And yeah, I had no expectations for this weekend, but it was good that when we eventually got to the Sunday, though, it was nice. It was nice to be competitive and take a lot of what I believe they're going to need to learn and develop as a club going into the BAFA season. There's a lot of really potential good stuff in there that they can obviously build upon. But it was good. It was good for them. I mean, the other results kind of across the board, I think. The only things that really didn't shock me or did shock me was the Glasgow Killer Bees played really well.
They went on a
all
run.
weekend.
Yeah.
I think the Edinburgh Outlaws game, the first game on the Sunday, great result for them. Beating the Salford guys 12-0. Brilliant result.
Really good result for them.
They obviously just come up against the Distillers in the end, but I mean the Glasgow Killer Bees, I was pleasantly surprised by the level of football they were playing. I got to watch both their previous round games as well, so I liked watching those guys do that. It was great. Youngie has got a really good core group of people there.
No, he really does. Yeah.
He's very competent too. I mean, it's very experienced from a quarterback perspective because he just has to get the ball in the player's hands in a position where they can make a play. So throwing it in the right position, making sure they are, finding the holes and the gaps is very methodical and very clever. And they're not pushing the ball deep. They're not doing a lot of run plays. It's just wee mid-range passing, just picking apart. And with the players that he's got around him, like your Ainsley Barclays, your Lizzies, Willie, for example, there's a few other young players that I've never seen before play for them as well. A lot of really good parts there. Really good parts. So really impressed by them this weekend.
For sure, very successful club, obviously. So
yeah, Salford were the only disappointing one, I would say. I mean, being a Prem level team, I was genuinely expecting a little bit more. I was a bit disappointed.
There were definitely a couple of guys that were not there from when we played them in their season.
Yes, yeah, that there was a couple,
and that
players.
hurts everyone. That hurts. Tournaments and stuff hard.
Just one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they had a couple of, I'm sure they had a couple of kind of similar games to us where they were kind of relatively playing well in the game, but maybe not getting the result that they kind of thought they would. So
good wee bracket, the low end bracket. I enjoyed it.
And congratulations to the Distillers, I guess, on their first silverware ever. I think it was the first trophy they've taken home. The Lowland bracket. So yeah, congratulations to them getting to something with a tankard on the line and winning it. So so well done to them. Barbarian bracket.
What a bracket!
Wild
bracket.
I love this bracket. Absolutely wild bracket. Yeah. So obviously ourselves, Aberdeen, and the Reading Devils, the Chichester Sharks, the First and 15 Mercs, the South Dublin Panthers, them boys, and the Manchester Titans and North Ants Titans.
Manchester
and
Crows.
The Crows. Crows. Sorry,
Oh,
Manchester Crows and North Ants Titans.
Oh, you're going to get someone in the DMs for that.
What I did was I read the word Manchester off the screen and then immediately read the words Titans. I just said them both. Yes, the Crows and Titans, Manchester versus North Ants. What really struck me about the opening round of this bracket was one blowout, 3 close games. So Panthers and the boys 14-6. Crows and Titans. One score. Chichester and First and 15, 26-0. Couple of scores. And then Reading and Aberdeen.
Extra point.
Yeah, 1 score game there. But hey, it happens. It's okay. But I said to Jay Bellamy, he put up a post up about the weekend, and I said it to him there, and I genuinely I had so much fun. That first game against Reading was just really good fun. I think both sides played pretty well, and they scored 1 more point, so they win the game. But it's just fun. And then after the game, I had a really nice chinwag with with Tom, obviously Reading's regular quarterback, and him. So it was really good fun.
Yeah, a lot of these games here are within the scoreline that I would normally expect for a flag in New Year as well, Bez. No, I always explain it as like you want to have at least 4 scores. So 7, 14, 21. That's what you're looking for. So in your game, it was arguably 3-3. What won the game was extra points.
Yeah, it was an extra point.
Yeah. Maybe a couple missed drives, a couple turnovers and downs, maybe. But
and they did the irritating but smart thing at the end where the clock was like running down and they had the extra point, so they just pissed off back to their own end zone to try and very smart. They didn't want us to take a shot from our. It would have been from our. It would have been a Hail Mary from our 5.
But, would that have been?
Yeah, it would have been because they scored and then they ran out the clock on the extra point.
Okay.
Which was smart of them, obviously.
Of course.
So yeah. Yeah, and then Reading and Chichester, a 1-point win for Reading. Awesome. 1-score game there.
It's a rival as well. I like that.
Yeah, so 20 points to Reading, 19 Chichester. On the other side, the boys beat the Crows 20-12, 1-score game. And then in the final, the boys beat Reading 26-20. So there was your
another 1-score game.
4th score made all the difference to get it up to 26. And
that's it. That's it. Really is. If you can go 4 scores, you're gonna be within winning. 3's
you're up there,
close. 4, you should really be winning with 4 scores. The way in which the clock runs, if you're very methodical and you don't cause turnover and downs, that's exactly what that 26-20 is. That's 4 scores to 3. That's exactly what you want to have as the ball in your hands with that opportunity. That's where the Smoke are very good. They always have the ball to win every single time.
And if we get into the championship
bracket, this is a goodie. Yeah, this is another goodie.
Where the Silver Lions were exceptional.
Yeah.
In their final.
This is where they're clinical about this stuff.
Yeah. So so the final 8 in the championship bracket, Manchester Titans, Bold City College, Craigavon Cowboys, Glasgow Hornets, Aerosol, Grangemouth Broncos, Kalikaku, and the Silver Lions.
The Grangemouth result shocked me there. What about you?
20-0.
Yeah.
I think, did we watch?
I watched that one. I was very surprised it was 20-0. Grangemouth completely outplayed them.
It was a weird game though, right? Like it was just odd. It was like, I don't think, because Aerosol would like move the ball to a point and then just stop.
Yep. It was so weird.
It was like, it was
overthrown passes, out of bound throws,
missing balls that they hadn't missed the day before. And all that. Yeah, it was
weird.
It was a wee bit odd from them. Grangemouth put their foot on the pedal and did exactly what they needed to do. 20-0 in a quarterfinal. Love to see it. I didn't see Bold City in Manchester.
No, it's likewise. I didn't see that. I seen the Craigavon Glasgow game. I watched that one.
I think I watched part of that, and then did we warm up? But yeah, I was kind of wandering along all 3 pitches during this particular bit. So, I think was I looking at Glasgow on one side and Grangemouth on the other? I think they were.
That's right. Yeah. Because that's where I was split between them. And then I think the top field would have been Silver Lions.
The top field was one of the lower brackets.
Oh, was it? Okay.
And then the Kalikaku and Bold City games were on at the same time.
I didn't see those ones as well. I didn't see them. But so I must have been either like no, I definitely was watching. I was because between the 2 fields.
Yeah. I thought I thought the Glasgow game was going to be a total blowout. When I watched the first play and Ollie Dyer picked off the slant, I thought that was going to be a complete blowout. So,
think so?
Like just it's one of those things. It's just like you watch that and you're like, the Glasgow defense are up for it and all that kind of stuff, and it's like they're 7-0 up in like 20 seconds and they didn't start with the ball, and you're like, oh, this could get like,
horrible.
This could get pretty ugly pretty quick. It didn't.
No, it stayed competitive.
Stayed competitive right until the end. Before the Cowboys kind of tournament ended there.
Which is a shame. They had a great Saturday, like an unbelievable Saturday.
That's that's a postcard Saturday. That is
to see the team that you beat go on to make the final. must be just a wee
Yeah.
kick in the nads a wee
Yeah,
bit, just to
yeah,
go,
yeah.
oh, for goodness sake. But this is why it was so competitive.
So good.
And you played that on the Saturday. Was there too many Guinnesses consumed and too many whiskies on a Saturday night? Who knows best? What stays in Glasgow, what happens in Glasgow stays in Glasgow, so we'll never find out.
Exactly.
But on the Sunday, yeah, that was maybe a disappointing one for the Irish lads, but
yeah,
good result for Glasgow.
Yeah,
Obviously,
good result for
they were
Glasgow.
up for winning. So
yeah, good result for Glasgow. Bold City and Manchester. Honestly, can't say I saw it. So
I didn't see that one. Quite comfortable though, by the looks of it.
Yeah, 33-14.
33. That's a lot of scores.
Yeah. And so that means the Kalakaku Silver Lions game. Now I sat and created a highlight reel for this because I was like, this is going to be awesome. So that's available on Instagram. You can go find it and look back at some of the best plays from that game. But that was clinical. It was so good. It was just high level, big brain football on show. And obviously you've got the brains behind that and the coaching staff for the Lions, but the first half, Kaku started with the ball and then turned over on downs. And then they got the ball back once. And I think the Lions scored either side of halftime. That was it.
Yeah.
2 scores.
I'll do it.
They had a 2-score lead. At that point, Kalakaku scored to make it 14-18. But it was in control. It looked like there was maybe a couple of injuries. Tom Howell, sorry.
Yeah, he was hopping around.
The blitzer kind of fell on him as he planted his planted his foot to throw.
Right.
And to be fair to the blitzer, he was immediately straight up being stop, sitting down with him, trying to are you okay? I don't think it was malicious. Obviously, it was pretty horrible. But those guys, everyone on that pitch, obviously moved so fast. That when they were running into each other, it's a collision and it hurts.
It's fast.
Yeah, and there was one later on where it looked like JT got his ankle kind of stuck. But hopefully they're both kind of okay. They're both doing well. But yeah, it was a really, really superb performance from both teams, to be honest. When Kalakaku had the ball, like you say, when they are just athletes, they are so assured. Quarterback was
very good.
I think on Saturday night, sorry, when everyone went to bed, whatever time that was, when the leisure center staff turned the lights out at Ravenscraig on Saturday night, I think I would need to check with Alan, but I reckon that the Kalakaku quarterback might have been the front runner for MVP. I think if they go all the way,
he's got MVP. He's got a sword.
I think if they make the final, he goes back across the channel with a sword. And it was a thrilling game. And the thing about that is the fact that game was a quarterfinal, I think really speaks to the standard of the tournament this year.
Correct.
The fact that game.
I don't think it helped the Silver Lions finishing second in their group, but imagine if they did win the group, who would they have faced first thing on a Sunday morning? Glasgow Hornets. Either way you got it, there was going to be something
the way that Group C and Group D were set up was you were going to get something absolutely tantalizing. Early in the championship bracket.
Yeah, that was the one. It was Silver Lions Kalakaku. What a game that must have been.
Yeah, it was very good to watch. So if you want to see some of the highlights of it, then go over to Instagram and you can watch them in our Reels section. Bold City College versus Glasgow. This was a wild game. This was pretty. There was a lot of chat back and forward between the teams. It got pretty heated. Bold City in the end pulled away 27-12 winners.
A lot of good football, a lot of good stuff in there.
A lot of really good football.
But
really
a lot of deep balls too. Man, there were so many passes that were just deep to this one guy. I forget the gentleman's name, but it was unreal. How that game got away from Glasgow so fast.
Yeah, and it was wild as well because Bold City did like a really methodical drive and scored on it, and then Glasgow immediately threw a deep shot to Cammy, full length of the field, touchdown.
Yeah,
and then Bold City were basically like, "Oh, right, okay, we'll just okay," and basically
let's play.
And basically started just properly chucking it around. So yeah, really, really good high quality semi final there. Yeah, in a bracket that was absolutely full of them. Grangemouth Silver Lions is a game that I didn't see. But yeah, 1 point win for the Silver Lions. Did you watch that one?
I caught little bits of it. Yeah, I saw little bits of it. 'Cause I was sitting right opposite the field when it was happening.
All right.
Again, a really good game. Very similar situation. In regards to it being close. It pretty much went all the way down to the wire. I never seen what happened at the end, unfortunately. But from what I heard, I'm sure it was a bat down in the end zone or something right at the end of the game. I believe I can't quite remember what was said. But again, another.
I think it was I think Grangemouth were up.
I
At
couldn't
one
remember
point.
scores.
I think they were up, and then
it was back and forward. It was like
okay,
back and forward as far as I remember, and it was a close one, and it came all the way down. I think it came down the last play, but at that point, I think I was warming up or something, and I couldn't see the end of it, or at least keep track of the game to see where it was. But I think Grangemouth again, they're close. Last year, were they not runners up last year?
Yeah.
So again, they've come close again to come up against your GB Silver Lions and only lose by a point. So they'll be disappointed with that. But I mean, it's looking good for Grangemouth again. They're looking super, super competitive, really clinical, super strong in the defense as usual, moving the ball in the offense. I think again they're really setting themselves up to have another good go at it again this year and see if they can improve upon what they did this year. No lucky pass backs or bat plays. Win it,
sometimes that's what you need.
Sometimes that's what you need.
Sometimes that's what you need.
Hopefully you want to be winning by more than a bat. You want to be up comfortably. But yeah, I think the Silver Lions again. You know what they're like. Dale's got them like
very well drilled.
Just very well drilled. They've played together for so long now. Like, this is the great thing I like about the Silver Lions compared to the Gold program. It's been going for so long. There's consistency. There's repetition. They know each other.
There is a churn though, because this is their last. Like, this is the last Silver Lions. I was chatting to Dale about it. This is this Silver Lions team's last. Now, obviously, there will still be some players that are there.
There will be some
players. There will be some that move up to Gold. There'll be some that are no longer with the program. There'll be some new guys coming in. But I mean, there's the core has kind of been there for a couple of years now, and we'll see kind of before we know it, we're going to be talking gold selection and world championships.
Yeah, it won't be long, man.
It won't be very long, but yeah, it's very exciting for them. And obviously, they then bumped into Bold City College in what, by all accounts, was an absolutely epic final.
It was a great game. What a final! I wasn't planning on staying for the final, but I ended up having a huge conversation about BAFA flag reviews for a good solid 45 minutes while this game was on. And it was great. I really enjoyed this one. I really did. There was a lot of really high intensity. There's a lot of physicality as well, which you don't often see. And that's kind of separates a lot of the teams where they're not used to that fit level physicality, the contest, the going up for balls in the air. There was a lot of that going on. It was really impressive to watch, Bez. I really enjoyed watching that final. It's been one that often it's quite clinical over the years, like from Smoke's perspective. We know how they play. It's very methodical, but this was like an absolute shootout. And it was good. It was a longer format too. Do you think that improved it? Do you think that helped?
Yeah, so I was like, I can't spend an hour with the way that the wind was forecast and the weather was forecast at like Dramoxter and Dalwhinnie. I was like, I need home. I need to be past that before it hits bad, because the forecast at one point was for like that Dramoxter was for like 70-mile-an-hour winds gusting.
It was
gusting to 100 up here.
Correct,
and I was just like, my car does not weigh very much, and it is essentially a square. So I'm just gonna like go. I said to Youngie, I was like, Youngie, I'm really sorry. I was going to stream it, but I just like,
I need to go.
I cannot get trapped in Perth because it's a shithole.
Yeah.
So, like, so I'm going to bounce. But yeah, by all accounts, like when I saw the score, I think part of me, I did initially forget that it wasn't 12. Like, it took me a minute to be like, that is so many points, and then I was like, full
Longer
length game,
format.
full
Yep.
length game.
Made a
So
massive difference. You can see that there was a
tactics
lot more was
changed
allowed to
so much.
happen. It
Yeah.
flowed so much more smoothly. There wasn't a lot more. There was obviously still an element of rushing because of the play clock, obviously, but the overall duration just meant that there was a lot more time to let things develop better. Yeah, did it bring
Set
extra
stuff
value
up.
to the competition? I mean, you get to see the two best teams battle it out at the end over a longer duration, which is what everybody wants, especially if you're into flag. Is it would other teams benefit earlier on in other games by having the opportunity to come back? Yeah, obviously the longer format would potentially suit other teams, would take a bit longer to get going, but that's just the joys of this tournament. Is you got
That's
to
the
turn up.
reality of it. And like, you can't have 20-minute, like, if you had 20-minute games the whole time, you would have like 12 teams.
You're not going to be able to.
So
You're not going to be able
it
to.
would never,
It's unrealistic.
it would never happen.
So yeah, it was good. I liked having the longer format, and then
Nice one.
and then they
I
got
guess
to take a wee sword back.
the final question on the review then, I guess, would be full-time, half-time offense rule. Likey or no likey?
As a spectator, likey. As a player, no likey. Like, as a spectator, love it. Extra play. Like, that what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. The extra offensive play.
Yeah. Love it as a spectator. Oh, the clock's down. They've got one play to set up. They can talk about it. They can give it an extra go. You don't have to worry about the clock. But as a player, as an offensive team, brilliant. I just think as a defensive team, you've done a great job stopping them from progressing, like to get them to the point where there's no time left. So from a defensive perspective, yeah, it's frustrating because then you're going to potentially lose the game on an absolute Hail Mary, but you shouldn't be in that position anyway. So there's lots of, I can see it from a good perspective, Bez, and at the same time, I'm like, there's too many pros to not have it. So from an offensive perspective, great. From a spectacle, brilliant. From a defense,
so I actually
don't know.
disagree.
Think so?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and I just feel like in sport, when the clock runs out, the game ends.
That's what I feel from a defender's point of view. Yeah,
and that's like it.
Over.
And like I actually think the touchdown we scored to give us the extra point against the Silver Lions was that extra play.
Right. Okay.
Like, I think that actually happened. I think that was it. Like, that was the extra play.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying to you. As an offense,
like, so like we could have beaten the Silver Lions on that play, and like, had we done that, I would still be talking about how like it was awesome to see our team win that game, right?
Yeah.
But it's just artificial. Like, it's just artificial, and it's just like I went into it and I spoke about it last time where I was like, I kind of don't understand it. I don't see what value it brings. And now, having played in it for 2 days, I still don't like. I don't get it either. In a game that is like like so already weighted for having the ball last in that tournament format. Like, it's already, you have at the end of the first half and at the end of the game, you have such an advantage if you have the ball.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I said, as an offense, it's great. But as a defense, you've done your job.
Yeah, you already, like, as the defense, you stand there being like, you already hold all of the cards, literally, because you have the ball.
Yep.
Like, you know, because there's like a thing where like like Reading ran out the clock to stop us, basically like running out, snapping the ball, like clocking it basically, to give ourselves the full 25-second play clock to then try and run some mad Hail Mary play.
Yep.
That's why they had to run around with it, because the extra play meant that we wouldn't have had to rush when the game ended, as long as we were out for the first, with a couple of seconds left to snap the ball and put it down. So I just don't like.
I know. I feel you.
It's
artificial. That's
it's
a
not
really good
something I
term.
would expect to see at Granite City Quake. Put it that way.
No, and you'll never see it at like BAFA level and stuff. That's not.
No,
like,
and
it's
like
never going to work. But
it's
something here.
It's something different for tournaments, and like we're talking about it, so like that's fine. But
Yeah.
like if
what would you rather have then? An extra play at the half, or would you rather have like a kickoff at the start of the game where you throw to the
the throw
opposing
thing,
team?
100%. 100%.
I've always wanted to try that. I think it'd be
100% the throw thing.
electric. Like designated returner. Like, I don't know, pick your speediest and shiftiest player and then try and get them to run up, and that's where you start from.
It'd be awesome.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, awesome.
I can't throw the ball that far.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
so that's then my issue.
You do, but then like you just need one guy who's like, doesn't have to be your quarterback that throws the ball. You just need one guy with a big arm who's not very accurate.
One guy to beef it up the field. Yeah.
Like I think I would try that before I tried this again.
I think so. Yeah.
But it's not a deal breaker. But it's just like if somebody had won, like if the final had been won,
imagine
on the extra play after the clock had expired, and they were then say they're 5 points down, and with the clocks at 0, they get an extra play that they wouldn't get anywhere else, and it's a touchdown. On defense, you would be like,
you'd be livid. Yeah,
it's the rules of the game are the rules of the game. So if you win the game, you win the game. It doesn't really matter how you do it because you won. But it kind of like it devalues it a bit. Does it devalue? I don't know. Devalues is the wrong word.
It's a conversation.
It makes it too different from everything else.
Yeah,
but looks close enough that you would never notice. That's it.
There you go.
There you go. But yeah, let us know what you thought. Did you enjoy it?
What is everyone's thoughts about it?
What are people's thoughts about it? Did they enjoy it? Would they, if they were hosting a tournament, would they want to see that at other tournaments they're entering, or do they think that clocks exist? So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
And
interesting.
Yeah. I know I said earlier on Tree that we could play Don't Get Me Started, but I don't. My phone has died, and that's where all the notes are. I don't have the charger in the studio.
Okay, well, we'll save that for a bumper next episode because we're gonna have the BAFA review to do.
We'll have the BAFA
and like Don't Get Me Started.
And Don't Get Me Started.
God, there's gonna be so much controversy from that one.
And the Winter League build up.
Oh, and a Winter League build up. My tinfoil hat will be on. Oh, mate.
It's going to be very, very exciting.
The next episode's going to be good.
All of that to come. That's a reason to subscribe on whatever channel platform you listen to us on, so you never miss an episode. And we will bring you all that fun stuff later on with Conspiracy of the Week.
Oh, I am so looking forward to breaking down this review, Bez. I cannot wait.
It'll be so much fun.
Oh man.
Cool. Right. Well, in that case, I will let you go, Mr. Anderson. Thank you very much.
Very much, sir.
It is goodbye from Tree.
Goodbye, everybody.
And it is goodbye from me. That has been the way we HNC it. Remember that you can be sure to never miss an episode of The Way We HNC It by subscribing on whatever platform you listen on and ensuring that you leave us a couple of stars as a review. To be honest, we're not entirely sure what that does, but if you enjoy the show, give us some decent stars and tell your friends. And if you don't enjoy the show, then feel completely free to tell nobody about it. You tried, you didn't like it, but hey, at least you tried and at least we got here. And to be honest, you must have liked it a little bit because at the end of the show, you're still listening. Speak soon, everyone. Have a great week.